I need to share it with someone.
Hello, glad to always have you join us on the Breakfast Show on TSL Nigeria TV. I'm Wana Dana.
Thanks for staying with us. When one or both parents consistently shows or gives parental treatment, that's preferential treatment, to one child over the other, it is called parental favoritism. In some families, it is mild, while others, it is apparent. Today on The Breakfast Show, we'll be discussing parental favoritism and the impact it has on a child's development and self-sense. We have a guest in the studio to help us with this discussion. He's a parent and a regular face on The Breakfast Show. Please join us. Welcome, Mr. Kewe Modukpe. Welcome, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Welcome.
So good to be here.
Thank you. So we want to know, your kids, are they preteens, toddlers, or teens?
Teen and preteen.
Okay, let's get right into the discussion.
Okay.
Now, is it possible for a parent to have equal amount of love for their children? Is it possible? Having in mind that some kids are easy to parent than the others.
It's not possible to have same love for two persons.
Okay.
It's not possible. Same applies with your kids. You can have two kids and love them the same way. But most often the time you see parents, they argue, they tell you, yes, I love my kids same way. But you discover that inwardly, inside of you, you know too well that you prefer this. You are more connected to this than the other. So
Why is it that way? Why do you think it's that way, to have more connection with one child than the other?
look, now love has to do with value. What the person brings to the table will determine how you'll be connected to the person. There are some kids, they are an handful. We have the other that you just love what they do. You just like what they do, what they say, the way they do things. Mm-hmm. And so those, over time, it builds affection, it builds connection between you and that person. You have two kids at home, you don't expect them to behave the same way. Now you get to a point, you discover that, okay, if one of them is not around, you'll be missing that person more than the other one. Okay. You say, I wish your brother is here. And that is the favoritism we are talking about.
Okay, quick question, sir. You have two children. Now, if your two children are asking you for maybe the same thing, that, okay, probably a toy, they want toy, and you have, you're able to afford just one at that time, who are you going to be giving the toy to and why?
So why should they both of them in the same house? They need a toy. I don't assign toy to one child.
Okay, aside toy, they both need two things that can be used by the two of them.
Okay.
But you are able to afford just one, or for just one person at that time. Who are you going to be giving it to at that point? It's not a toy this time around. It's like anything that two of them both need.
I don't understand proud, but I've not gotten to the state in my life where I can
you're avoiding the questions. Okay, apart from things, now your two children, they both have events on the same day.
Good.
And you have to be there at the same time. Which event are you going to be going for and why?
I should forego. Okay, it don't depend on this. The event that will determine the one I will attend, not the child.
No, from your explanation, it seems you have a favorite child.
He's obviously avoiding the question.
Yes, I do. But when it comes to expressing this love, there's a difference between having it and expressing it. Because they are, like I said, you see, your adulthood is longer than your childhood. Yeah. So you must try your best to be there for your kids and to create this lasting impression in them. Because they are still in the formative state now, what we call, you are trying to build their mindset. So you must be very cautious and very intentional with what you put into them. I don't want the situation when, even if I I love one more than the other, it shouldn't be obvious. They shouldn't know. It should be left for me. So I try my best to act as if I'm balancing it. I don't want to sound like God that Esau I love, Jacob I hate. No, I would like let them know that Daddy loves the both of you. But inwardly, I know, I wish this one is like this.
Don't you think it would be better to work on the aspect that you do not like about the other child? Because you are the parents of both children, and they have different interests. Better you work on what you do not like on the other child, so you don't have to start trying to balance.
You see, that's where we miss it as parents. Yeah. you try to make someone become who is not because we want to build our child. We created a model for them. No, allow them live their life. That's the word. There's a book I read called Live Your Life. Let them live their life.
Okay.
You get my point?
Yeah.
You should not, the fact that there's no standard, there's no standard for living. There's no, which word am I going to use? There's no SI units that this is how a child should behave. If your child, the other one is behaving this way, it's fine. The other one is behaving this way, it's fine. Look for a way to manage.
Okay, so I heard you say proudly that you have a favorite child.
Yes.
Why are you, is that not supposed to, is that okay? Is it okay to have a favorite child? And why are you bold enough to say, oh, I have a favorite? What if your children are actually, watching this program right now?
Yes, okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe when they are older, they will have access to watch this program. For now, they're not watching this program. Okay. But the truth is this. You guys expect me, I saw the art you guys do, that, come on, you bring in your guests, you expect them to be true to the topic.
Yes.
And that's the reason why I try my best to be true to the topic.
Okay.
I have a favorite child.
Are you going to tell us which is?
Which of them?
Yeah.
Funny enough, I'm not going to mention the one everybody expect, because the African society, you tend to be closer, you tend to love the younger one more than the others. Okay. But I think there's a flip as far as mine is concerned. Okay. I'm not sure I've answered the question.
We already have an answer. Thank you, sir. We already have
now,
an answer.
In your case, it's mild.
Yeah.
Now, in families that their own situation is apparent, it's very obvious. Yeah. So it tends to bring one down and the other one up, higher than the other, makes one feel unwanted. I think it's best siblings rivalry. They start seeing each other as enemies rather than family members. In that situation, how will you address that?
Okay, now, there are some families where love is a scarce commodity. So the moment you just show something, resemblance of love, it's over bloated, it's over exaggerated. But I try, as an individual, I have too much love inside of me that I don't have a reservoir for it. So but what you're trying to say is this: when parents begin to show this love to one, the other tend to excess love to one. Yes, it's because it has to do with, I think people need to learn parenting. Parenting is not what you get into because you had is it conjugal connection with the lady and the guy procreate. That's not what parenting is. There are some persons that are parenting, not necessarily because they are the biological father or mother of that child. Yeah. Parenting is a science and it's also an art. You need to learn how to parent your kids. Yeah. You get my point?
Yeah. Now, so I asked you earlier why you think it's okay to have a favorite, because, parental favoritism goes as far back as thousands of years ago in the Bible. We saw it first with Abraham, and obviously Abraham has the first son, Ishmael, but not everybody knows about Ishmael. Everybody always says Isaac, son of Abraham. We actually saw Ishmael and his mother being chased away to the wilderness, and obviously that birthed another nation. Apart from that, we also see another instance in the Bible of Isaac and Rebekah. Isaac being his favorite son being Esau, and Rebekah, her favorite son being Jacob. We saw what that did. So it goes to show you that parental favoritism always goes sour, or in most cases goes sour. So why do you think people still indulge in parental favoritism, knowing that there are always negative consequences to it? Is that like she said, sibling rivalry or so many other things? You see one child feeling less loved, less important than the other. Why do you think it's so? Why do you think parents still indulge in it regardless?
Now, this issue of a child feeling less loved, less wanted, it doesn't have anything to do with favoritism at all. It depends on how there's a stage your child will get to. From preteen, teen, you should learn to boost their self-esteem. Because what we do as parents is, because at this stage, we tend to look at what the child does. And we want to, because they'll tell you, if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. For that reason, you want to shout at the child, come on, you should be doing this, less praises. You learn to do more of things that will boost their self-esteem. Because that's one way they will feel loved. Little things they do tend to amplify it. Come on, you're a great child. Wow, I'm proud of you. You are the true son of your father. You begin to use words that boost their self-esteem. And once you do that to all your child, forget about this one. This is what I'm telling you, this issue of favoritism. You don't have control over it. Because when it comes to issue of love, there's a stage you get to, you don't have control over it. I talk about emotions now. You don't really have control over these emotions.
Okay.
But we're talking about how you treat your kids. You should have control over it.
Okay. What do you have to say about parents that would always say, oh, can't you see your brother? Can't you see what your brother is doing? Your brother is doing this. Why can't you do this? And, obviously we've seen people that it hurts so bad that they actually feel that they're not doing well enough. So what do you have to say about parents that always compare their children and, making the other one feel less of a child?
I don't have a problem with you comparing. The manner in which you do this comparison matters a lot.
Okay.
You let the one that you are reprimanding to be inspired by what the other one is doing, not a way of trying to shame the person that, come on, look at what your brother, are you really sure that I'm your father? Are you sure I'm your mother? Look at what you're supposed to do. Just imagine, look at your brother that is coming out first in class. You don't do things that way. You allow that child to be inspired by what the other is doing.
But when you continuously try to compare without you feeling hurt or having an ulterior motive, you just try to make a balance. When you continuously compare, it's going to bring down that child's self-esteem. You are doing it out of love. But now this is a child that do not really understand what you're trying to do yet. It's going to bring low self-esteem to that child. And when it continues and it grows into an adult, that's where we have, brothers and sisters becoming enemies. And they even take it higher to their children. You have cousins becoming enemies for what they did not know what happened.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let me answer. Have you heard of the sandwich approach to correction? Sandwich, now you have the bread, you have the...
layers.
Layers, good.
Yeah.
How you do this reprimanding matters. Okay. You start with the praise. And always ensure that when your child is leaving your presence, make sure they leave your presence on a very high note. You start with the praise. That's like the first layer. Then you finish the child's second layer. Then when they are leaving, you say, oh, lest I forget. Oh, I like the way you cleaned the sitting room yesterday. The child will leave with a smile. That's the way to reprimand people.
Okay. So do you consider yourself a parent that gives equal level of discipline? Because you said you have enough love to give. Do you think you also give equal level of discipline truthfully to your two children?
Yes, I do. Discipline. Most time, let me tell you one thing. My own case is a very funny one because the two boys, if they want to commit crime, let me use the word crime, domestic crime, they conspire to commit crime. so most of the time, what I do is that I ensure that if I want to discipline them, they will suffer it together. Okay. So what they do, they look at each other. Daddy, if daddy sees it, daddy will be angry. Then the other one will come and I will report you to daddy. You see things like that because they know if I want to punish them, they will bear it together. They take responsibility.
Yeah. So now we're saying it's parents to children. Yeah. Let's take it now to children to parents. We've had situations where children will say, oh, I prefer my mommy to my daddy, or I like my daddy more than my mommy.
Exactly.
So if you were in that position and one of your children is saying, oh, prefers you to your partner, how will you feel? How does it make you feel?
Let me tell you this. Children, by nature, they want to be pampered. So if you are the mother and you are the one, you are the parent on the pampering side of the equation, you'll be loved. But if you are disciplinarian in the home, they will not. But you see what? I'm the pampering type. So that's the reason why I get the applause. I don't like the fact that they love me. Because of the fact that I know that there's something I'm not doing right. That's why they are connected to me. They want to be, hey, daddy, I want to do daddy this, daddy this, daddy. They want to hear from me. If they're with me, I'll tell them, have you called your mom today? They'll say, no. What? Have your mom called you guys today? No. Call your mom. They don't want to talk to the mom, but they want to call me every day because they feel that any spot, the mom will tell them, why are you talking like this? Talk very well, John. You understand? Because she wants them to be, that's me. Why that? Okay, it's like this. I would say the line is not clear. Let me call you back. You get my point? So they are more connected to me. But the truth about it is that if you are the one pampering, they will love you.
Okay, well, sir, in this case, it seems to be in your favor. What if the tables were turned and probably they prefer their mom to you? What do you think you could do better? Are you going to stop being the disciplinarian because, their mom pampers them more and then they don't like you so much because you're this? Are you going to stop that just to make them happy? What are the ways you're going to be able to cope with your child favoritism to their mom?
Do you know what? Let me tell you this. Growing up, when my dad travels, there's jubilation in the house. We pray for him not to return till after 7 years. Whenever he's coming to the house, everybody's angry. But the truth about it, today, I'm happy I have a father like that. If it was only my mom that trained us, Jesus, As in, I'm not sure I'll be where I am today. Because I will not begin to, my mom doesn't have values. The value is to ensure we're fed, even midnight we wake up to eat, we're fed, we're clothed. But my dad, you can't try that. He has a way of squeezing you, I don't like it. But as the kids begin to grow, they begin to know that, come on, I need little of this and little of this for me to become a complete man or a complete woman.
But from what you are saying now, it seems it's only when you pamper a child, when you are the one always giving, that's when they tend to love you more. So we should leave the discipline aspect out of it and becomes like, you know, so
no,
cool and so calm.
No, we are not expecting both parents to behave the same way.
Yeah.
But because at the end of the day, you put your kids out there to a place where they will find love. But what we're saying is that if the father is strict, the mom is all loving, it's fine. I think there's a balance in it.
Okay, but you know, you just said it took you becoming an adult to know that your father was doing you right. Do you think your children are aware at this stage that, oh, they need that discipline coming from their mom?
Good. They might not know it now, but as they grow,
you feel they will still know it.
Whatsoever you are putting, it's like you're building a house. Whatsoever you are putting out, it might look little.
But before they grow and understand what is actually happening, your effort so far, they sometimes they get depressed, they get left out. They start, you know,
that's
having
why I said
influence from outside.
No, that's why you can't get it outside. That's why there needs to be a balance. If what one is not doing, the other is doing it. It's not to say relationships meant to complement now. So parenting, both parties need to complement what each of them they are doing. Okay. That's parenting.
So, quick question. What do you have to say about some parents that play ignorant to this parental favoritism that we're talking about? Because you've seen cases of, you know, children trying to actually vent to their parents. Oh, you did this, you did that, and that is why I'm like this. I feel you should have done this better. If it was my sister or my brother, you not have done it this way. And you see some parents saying no. They actually they play ignorant, I would say, of the fact that they're not being equally, you know, they don't give equal treatment to those children. What do you have to say about those parents?
Now, like I said earlier on, I said parenting is both scientific and is an art. You need to learn it as a parent. What we do most times is situation. We just get married, we feel the next thing we should start having kids, and once we start having kids, we feel, okay, we need to take care of the kids. Sometimes we tend to treat them the way they treated us while we were growing up. But that is not what parenting means. If you have issues, training your children, read books. Like I kept telling people, read books. When you're reading books, you're learning other people's experience, you're applying it to your home, and it helps a lot. Read books to learn the art. Parenting is scientific. It's not something that we don't have the skills, you know. Nobody is born with the skills. You have to learn it.
Okay. Now, if you have if you have a message to drop to your two children right now, what are you going to say to this and what are you going to say to that? What message as a father?
Should I mention that?
From here, we definitely
we're going to know. We're going to know.
Okay. Son 1, son 2. Listening to your father. And I talk to them a lot on my social media platform. I use the message like, son, you know what, because I believe, yes, even when I'm no more, they will see these messages online and they will read it and it will inspire them.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Life is not easy as it seems right now. It is not a bed of roses.
Yeah.
You need to be praised up and be ready. Forget the fact that daddy is giving you all you need right now. It's going to get to a point where daddy will not be available and you have to fend for yourself. So brace up as a man that you are. You are the son of a lion.
Yeah.
Brace up.
Thank you so much, sir. We have so many comments on Facebook. Thank you to everybody that takes out their time to actually drop comments. We really, really appreciate you guys. Okay, now Faith Imayin says, good morning, lovely ladies, and the guests in the studio. Good morning to you too, Faith. Okay, and Irabo Bello Lois says, good morning, beautiful ladies of the Breakfast Show. Good morning to you too, Lois. And Faith Imayin goes on to say, do you think when the parents are not in sync or on the same page with discipline, it affects the children's upbringing? And she also says, also, what do you make of parents who name some children beautiful names and the rest scary names? Exactly. I think I was having a conversation with you before the show, and I was like, some parents name their children princess, queen, king. And do you think you're going to have one king? You have like 5 children and one is king. What are the others? Are they like slaves or what? And I think that's part of what Faith is asking. Can you give us a quick answer to that before we wrap up the show?
You know, this generation of parents, you know, when they start naming their kids, it's funny. They name their children based on intuition.
Yeah.
They just want to be in line with what the society demands. The truth about it, naming your child has to do with a lot of things.
Yeah.
It has to do with the circumstances surrounding the birth of that child.
Yeah.
The kind of life you hoped the child should live. And not only that, okay, I think more of the circumstances surrounding the child, the upbringing of that child. But when I wanted to name my child, their name looks similar.
Okay.
And this is for very obvious reasons. You understand? So that's for easy identification.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me quickly state this. The issue of naming is actually identification. I can call my child Pom Pom. When I use Pom Pom, he knows what I'm calling. You get my point?
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's any child that would begin to lay emphasis on.
So the meanings of the names actually matter.
Yeah.
When we see, I
They
know,
go
when we
a
see-
long way,
when we
sir.
see
Why do
kids-
you call
when we
one
see
Pom
kids-
Pom and call the other one Princess?
Exactly.
When we see kids
Bias.
grow up to change their names. That's what they do these days. And most especially girls, they grow up changing their name now. So to tell you how important name is.
All right, it's been a very fun conversation. So in a nutshell, parents should try consciously to create an atmosphere of fairness and equal affection to all their children. Thank you very much, sir, for
Thank you so
honoring our
much, sir.
invitation as always. We appreciate your presence. And to you out there, thank you for taking our time to watch another interesting episode of The Breakfast Show. Do not forget, Breakfast Show comes your way every Mondays and Wednesdays. And please follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel at TSL Nigeria TV. Until I come your way next time for another interesting topic for discussion, I am Favor of Yenloba. Bye for now.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.